Hi everyone, thank you so much for heading over to my channel for my very first video. It is a leg day. I lately have been doing my leg day 2 times a week in a split of glutes and quad focused and then glutes and hamstring focused, but today I decided not to go with that and just pick some of my overall lower body favorite moves and focus on form through doing a voiceover. So I hope you enjoy. If you do not already, follow me on Instagram. I will link it in the description box below at JamieReneeFit, and also subscribe because this is just the first video of many to come. Also, before we get into the workout, one quick note: if you are not familiar with a superset is 2 moves that are done one right after the other with no rest in between. So you do the first exercise and the second exercise and then you rest afterwards. And then you repeat the whole thing. So it's really good to get your heart rate up, and usually you do opposing muscles so that way you can work one, then work the other, and you get more done in a shorter amount of time. So we're starting the workout out with 2 different supersets. So let's get into it. Alright, so at this point I had just completed my warm-up, and now we're getting into our first superset, starting out with 10 sumo squats. For this move, your feet should be farther than shoulder width apart, with your toes turned outward to about a 45-degree angle. Just like in your normal squat, once your thighs are parallel with the floor, you're going to push up through your heels and squeeze at the top. It is not going to be cute, but it will be effective. My favorite benefit of the sumo squat is the emphasis that they place on your hip adductors, or your inner thighs. So once you complete 10 sumo squats, we are moving straight into a forward lunge for 8 on each leg. For this lunge, you want to make sure that your forward knee stays in alignment with your hips and your ankle. It shouldn't be caving in or swaying out. For both of these moves, if you do not feel comfortable in your form, do not add weight. Just drop the dumbbells and use body weight before any progression. Once completing both of these, you're going to take a short rest and then repeat this superset 3 more times. Now we are moving into our second superset. You will need a bench and a barbell. And you know how to forget. We are starting off with 12 hip thrusters. You will place your back on the bench and your feet planted firmly on the ground. You're going to focus on driving through your heels to lift the barbell, and per usual, you will squeeze at the top. You want to make sure that you do not hyperextend your back at the top. So keep your back and neck in neutral alignment. Alright, we are transitioning right into our second exercise, which we have 12 elevated glute bridges. So you're going to flip around, place your heels on the bench. You're going to drive up and press your hips high to the sky, squeezing at the top and keeping your core tight. Making sure your knees are in line with your hips and your ankles. This move can be made harder by slowing down the tempo and holding and squeezing longer at the top. So that completes our first round of this superset. Take your rest, and then repeat for a total of 3 times. Alright, we are moving into a unilateral squat variation. Whoa, there I go falling because my legs are tired. But we are nearing the end of a workout, so this is a more isolated movement. These are single leg sit to stands. I think they have a different name, but I don't know. So we're doing 10 on each leg for 3 sets. This requires both mobility and stability of the hip, knee, and ankle. I think it's really fun and challenging, and it's good because you're not overloading the body with a ton of weight. The most important thing here is to not crash or slam your hips down on the bench, but instead you want to be lowering them in a controlled manner. If it becomes easy for you, you can grab a weight like a dumbbell and hold it in between your hands by your chest, or you can lower your bench to make it harder, because the higher the bench is, the easier it is to sit down. Yay, yay, the last move in this workout is bench hops. So just push through. This is a burnout, so we are completing 10 bench hops 5 times through with really short rests in between. Oh my gosh, I'll admit it, I almost fell off the bench a few times because I was so tired by this last set. You will really get your heart rate up and feel the burn. Thank you so much for watching my very first video. I will put the whole workout in the description box below and also link some other things if you want to check those things out. Leave me a comment if you like what you saw or if there's anything that you would like to see or any suggestions. Thanks!